Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Also, if you are new, welcome to my Helping Hand series. Today we are helping out in a craft room / drop zone. And I know we all have these rooms in our house where someone's coming over and you're like, oh shoot, get the house looking good quickly. And it ends up just being a drop room. Well, in this case, it was this lovely woman's craft room. So we are going to get this clean, decluttered as much as possible, and organized. I ended up spending 2 days here. I'm trying to remember. I think I spent about 4 hours the first day and then about 2 hours the next day to get all of this done. But my first process of doing this was just kind of going through everything and doing my organized chaos. This is definitely a situation of it gets worse before it gets better, which can be very overwhelming for some people. But it's hard to even start in situations like this. So starting with basics. So putting like items together, not worrying about them being perfectly organized, just trying to keep those like items together and getting rid of obvious trash. That is huge. I can tell you on this first day, just trash bag wise, I got rid of a full like industrial size black garbage bag worth of trash. That alone saves so much space. So if you're working in a situation like this, pick a corner and start in it and just work your way around the room. I promise it'll get better, but sometimes it takes that hour or even two of it getting worse before it'll get better. But staying focused on a project once it started coming together is when that motivation really kicks in to keep on going. Now, I know this is probably a situation that a lot of people like myself can relate to is crafts. I am a very artsy person. I love to draw. I love to paint. I love to crochet. I love art. I do. I have always loved it since I was little. But it is very easy for art supplies to get overwhelming. Now, this woman was super lucky to have a space in her house that she could dedicate to crafting and art, having all these special little projects that she can do with her kid and things like that. But it's really easy to go down a rabbit hole every time you go to Michael's or Walmart, you see something cute and you add it to your hoard of supplies. So we talked a lot about that. She had a really hard time with the idea of minimizing, and I did let her know she is going to have to declutter about 50% of this room for it to really be usable. And for a lot of people that can be overwhelming because it's the thought of, well, I spent this money on it. And that's when I go into talking about, well, you spent this money on it, so you've already spent that money. That money's gone. How much time does it take to sell this stuff that you don't need anymore? Because she was talking about selling it. And then I asked her how much she makes in an hour. Not to tell me how much she makes in an hour. That's none of my business. But for her to mentally think about it. So if this is going to take you a week of taking a photo of it, listing it, dealing with pickup or drop off, plus the headache of people no-showing, how much money is it costing you to sell it when it may be a $5 item from Michael's? The other thing I was talking to her about is how many of these things have you rebought because you can't find the original one? So how much money has it really cost you? These are all just little things to think about when you're decluttering, because often if something is under, and you set the price limit, but let's say under $20, is it really worth all the effort of holding on to it and having that mental anxiety of it being here? or the time to sell it. Is it really, really worth that? Or is your mental health worth more? I can tell you I've come to a place where I've learned that my mental health is worth so much more than the couple dollars I will get from Facebook Marketplace.
Could have gone so far. It hurts to realize we're parted. And look at us now. This is who we are. And I just
So at this point, I was trying to get stuff away from these doors because I wanted to be able to open the doors up. One, just to give more space, trying to get space to start even the process of really going through things was one of the hardest parts. So I wanted to open these doors up. That way I had a little bit more floor space. You guys know I have no problem with the people I'm helping for free if they want to be on camera or don't want to be on camera. In this situation, she did not want to be on camera. So you'll see her pop in, but I tried to make it where the camera was always angled in a way that she wasn't out here on camera. I try to keep that in mind. I know a lot of people always ask if the homeowners help, and 99% of the time they are. But if you don't see them, it's just purely their choice of not wanting to be on camera. But we spent a good couple of hours with her in here helping me, going through stuff, getting rid of the trash, organizing out the stuff, and even getting the obvious stuff she wants to get rid of into a bin for that purpose. Now, she did still want to try and sell some of this stuff, so I recommend putting it in a bin and giving herself a time limit to sell it. I recommend no longer than 30 days. 30 days should be your max time limit to list and sell. So if you don't list it within 30 days, donate it, trash it, whatever needs to happen, but give yourself that that deadline. Because also sometimes it's not a situation of we didn't get to it. It could be it didn't sell. So giving yourself that 30-day deadline is very important. That way you know you can get it out of your house. I'll be honest, usually I recommend just letting me take it when I leave for the day. That is something I give everyone the option, that they can just let me put in my car and have that mental relax that it's something that they do not need to deal with anymore.
turn it up, we got this. Turn it up on a higher level. Turn it up, we got this. Turn it up on a higher level. Turn it up, we got this. Turn it up on a higher level. Turn it up.
Another big thing to think about, and I feel like this is something that a lot of people struggle with when watching my video, is the idea of people not getting rid of enough things. And really decluttering, and I've said this before, is like working out. It's like a muscle. It can be really, really hard in the beginning. You do it because it does feel good, but you can't do a lot at first. You have to build up. So that's something huge to keep in mind, and something that I tell everyone I work with is it's a muscle. It may feel really difficult this time, but come back in 30 days. Come back in 90 days. Like, keep doing it. It does get easier. It will get easier. And once it clicks of how much better you feel mentally to have this clutter out of your life and easier to keep your home clean, it becomes addictive, where you want to keep decluttering. You want to maintain this peace of mind and relaxed state in your life. Now, I quickly realized when doing this project that I was not going to be able to get it perfect. There, one, wasn't the time, and two, she was not in a place to declutter as much as she would need to get it to be a perfect state. And I think this is a really good explanation for people that may not want to start a project because they have this overwhelming like expectation of it to be Pinterest worthy or Instagram worthy, these afters that are just like massive, huge transformation, and it overwhelms you to a point where you don't even start. So many of us get into this place of, well, I don't have the correct organizers, or I don't have the labels, or I don't have the pretty baskets, or this, that, and the other. And we don't even start because we don't believe we can get to our finished project. Remember, it is about progress, not perfection. Progress over perfection every single time. Do a little now and then come back to it in 30 days and do a little bit more. It's going to take time, especially if you are working in a place like this where it's just gotten so overwhelming, and it's easy to do. Like, don't put yourself down. It's so easy to let a space get overwhelmed. If you've ever heard the idea of dirt collects dirt, well, clutter collects clutter, and if something starts to get cluttered, it's really, really easy to have that snowball effect and it to get really overwhelming. So don't let yourself like be down on yourself. One, it's normal. I'm telling you right now, the houses you see online are not the normal, especially for us moms. Like, yes, I'm not saying that there aren't people that keep a really clean house. I try to keep a really clean house, clutter-free, but I didn't used to be like that. When like Xander was really, really little and Bjorn was really, really little, like I was learning how to maintain a clean and organized house, and the idea of that less made it easier. So don't ever let the internet make you feel inadequate, because often the internet is not reality at all, which is why I try to strive to be as real on this channel as possible, and why I love this Helping Hand series. One, I could help someone for free that may have never been able to crawl out of this hole that they've dug. And I love that. I love being able to help people and come in and meet new families and all of that. But also, I feel like this is more realistic to so many people that watch these cleaning videos to get inspired, to get motivation, and to realize, like, it's okay. It's okay. As long as you are starting, if you are making that step to better yourself, that's fine. Don't talk down to yourself. I feel like often we are our worst critics. Like, we will say stuff to ourselves that we would never say to a stranger on the street, or our best friends, or our sisters, or anything like that. And I want to tell you to stop. Stop criticizing yourself. All right, another thing I highly recommend if you are taking on a big project like this is take before videos or photos. It's so easy while you are in the process to not realize how far you had come. I actually did that for her at the end of day one because she just still felt so overwhelmed. And it was crazy because there was a massive difference from just the beginning to the end of day one. But it's so easy to not see the progress while you are doing it. So being able to be like, okay, here, let me quickly pull up my footage and show you what it looked like beforehand. The other thing was just needing her to take a step back, because being so up and close, like, it was hard to see past what was still left to do. But this was the end of day one, and I was just trying to get this room to a decent after. I know this has also been something that was a struggle with her and her husband, of him really wanting this stuff done. So I wanted to make sure that when he got home from work this day, that he could come in and see how much progress was made, how much she was able to downsize and organize all of her stuff and show that there is progress being made. So not as much like real organization going here, more of a just trying to like stage the room so that when I left, she could still have her husband come in and see all the progress that was made in these few hours.
Better. I miss you so bad, won't you come back to me? I've got you in my head, you're all that I see. I've lost all my chances, I know that I am too late. I'm thinking of you, I'm thinking of you, I'm thinking of you, wondering if you're thinking about me too. Now it's too late, I know it's too late. I'm out of time, but I'm still thinking of you.
All right, it is day 2, and my goal on this day was this craft closet. Yes, there's a lot of other stuff that could be tackled in this room, but all the other stuff was less overwhelming. A little 4-cube organizer here under the TV, you can see to the left of me. Like, these are all projects that need to be tackled, but I felt like were easy bite-size parts of this room that she'd be able to segment off and be like, okay, on this day, I'm just doing under my TV. That is the only place I'm doing. I'm going to tackle this one area and get it in order. So that was a big goal of mine, was to help her tackle the areas that I felt would be the most overwhelming for her. And this craft closet was it. Now, luckily, she had great intentions to be organized. You can see she's got a lot of bins and stuff already in this closet, and it was like going to a shopping store in her garage for organization items. So she had a lot of great pieces that she already owned, and I just wanted to utilize them for her and organize it out. But the biggest thing when it comes to organizing any space is you have to take it all out. You have to remove it all, get rid of the trash, get rid of anything you don't need anymore. Like, you may see a bag and be like, oh, I don't really want to go through it. Is it really that big of a deal? And it is. It is really that big of a deal. You want to go through everything, which is why it is so important to take bite-sized pieces. Once you get more comfortable with the idea of organization and decluttering and everything, then taking bigger projects on won't be as overwhelming. But the other big thing is, and I've said this in other videos, is it's less overwhelming for me to go to your house and do it because I am not emotionally attached to these items. I am not judging myself. I am just coming in, I am looking at the problem, and I am creating solutions. So don't get down on yourself when you see me doing this and you're like, oh, I'd be so overwhelmed. Because when it's in my house, it's way more overwhelming because they're my things. But when going to someone else's house, I don't have those judgmental thoughts and mindsets because, like I said earlier, we seem to be our harshest critics. We say things to ourselves that we would never say to anyone else, and those are all stopping like roadblocks that will slow you down and make it harder. So just know, little baby steps, little at a time, and it gets easier over time.
Yeah, none is real. I think we're searching for reasons not to be like them. We fly around like paper planes. They never know where we will fall.
Now, another big conversation we had, and a lot of us do this, is talking to her about not buying new craft items. I'm pretty sure no matter what craft she wants to do, she has the items to do it. But a lot of us, like, shopping is therapeutic. It's fun. We enjoy it. But it can be very detrimental in other ways. So I did tell her, I'm like, I highly recommend don't go shopping anytime soon. You have so many things. Take inventory of what you have, use what you have. And then if you have a specific project in mind and you know you're going to do this project, then shop for it. But not just to shop on the whim of shopping. You really have to rewire your mind of, instead of finding joy in shopping, finding joy in having a clean and organized space. And it does come. It does. It may be difficult because I know I did it. I used to like Home Goods and Hobby Lobby all the time. And I still go there. But usually it's around the holidays. And I purposely make sure that I'm not there all the time because it's fun to shop. Like, it is. Everyone knows it. It's fun. Like, it's fun to shop for what you enjoy. Let's put it that way. Like, I love home decor. I love arts and crafts. So I love shopping for that. You may love shopping for clothes or shoes or Tupperware or makeup or whatever it is. But if that shopping addiction is mentally causing stress on you, either because of finances or because your home is now untidy and you can't think when you're sitting on your own sofa and things like that, that is when it is very detrimental to you, and you need to really, really focus in on what truly will make you happy, because shopping makes you happy in the moment. It is something that is a quick high that ends up fading really quickly. One high, though, that doesn't fade quickly is having your home clean and organized and decluttered and easily maintained. Once you find that high, it's easy to replace the shopping.
Too deep like an overdose. You're the antidote. Losing sleep, I am in too deep. No matter where I hide, you got me sleep deprived.
So I did love all of the clear shoe boxes she had. I think these are genius when it comes to craft rooms because the drawers and stuff are nice, those like stackable drawers, but they're not as easy to like grab and go with. And I feel like when you're doing crafts, like there's often you just want to grab your ribbon, you just want to grab your thing of markers or stamps or glue or paint or whatever it is. And these clear stackers are great. You can label them and they'll look like amazing, but even if you don't label them, you can see in them and you can see what you have. So huge, big, like awesome thing for organizing are these clear shoe boxes. I did like the bigger pieces as well, those like foldable fabric bins, because it is nice for the bigger items, and we all have some of those bigger items. I used her wicker basket to hold, it was like wrapping paper and tulle and just a bunch of different things that she had up there that were taller that I wanted to still make sure were very organized. But this was at a point I actually had to get my kids from school, and I ended up coming back because I'm like, I am literally like to that point where I'm at the fun point. I'm at the point of putting it back together and everything just like falling into place. So I went and got the kids from school and then came back to finish up. That actually makes me think I spent more than 2 hours on the second day. I think I spent about 4 hours on the first day and 4 hours on the second day. So it would have been 8 hours total because I forgot that I had to leave and come back.
Always say the right things, like you're pushing me away, then you pull me back in. Like I'm your lady, but then you just stop trying. You push away, then when I go all in, like you afraid of what might happen if you're trying. I'm already done with these games, so I might just be honest with that. I'm pushing you away, then you pull me back in. Like I'm your lady, but then you just stop trying.
All right, so let's start about starting the projects that you've been dreading. I want you to think of a space in your house. This could be your pantry. This could be an arts and crafts room. This could be your closet, laundry room, whatever it is. And I want you to grab a piece of paper and I want you to write that room down. I then want you to make a like 4 square. And in each square, you're going to put day 1, day 2, day 3, and day 4. Because I don't want you to overwhelm yourself. And then I want you to make a list of what you want to get done those days. Like I've said before, it is so important to stay on track when you're doing this stuff, because if you jump around and change your mind, you don't see the progress, you get overwhelmed, and you end up stopping and not finishing because you have given up. So, day 1, trash, organized chaos, things like that. You can even just say, go in there and get the trash. Go in there and get rid of anything that belongs somewhere else. And make that your day 1. Day 2, organized chaos. Go through and just organize it out into manageable manageable piles. That way you can come back and organize it, and then organize, or then clean, whatever it is. But give yourself a list and stick to your list. It's going to make it so much easier, not overwhelm yourself, and really stick to a plan. I feel like when it comes to these big rooms, a lot of times we want to just get it all done in one day, and when you realize you can't, you just give up. Or when you don't see the progress because it gets worse before it gets better, you just stop. And there's nothing wrong with it. I feel like that's just how we're wired as humans. It's not easy. Organizing, cleaning, all of these things. Most people are not born with this I love to clean vibe. I know I'm not. I don't love to clean my house, but finding the reasons you love to have a clean space makes it easier. And it gets easier the more you do it. And sticking to a routine. Having a plan set in place, even if it's not a super strict plan set in place. I know, I like to have my windows cleaned regularly. So every week I am doing a different window in my house because I love natural light. So I really find it important to have the inside and outsides of my windows clean. I don't have a strict schedule of once a month I clean every single window in my house, but I do routinely hit every single window of my house. So having a routine, even if it's not a super strict routine, and sticking to it, maybe having a super strict routine in the beginning while you're learning your process, I think those are all very important parts, and realizing that it really, really is not fun or easy in the beginning, but it gets easier over time. It does, I promise. It's something that is like a muscle. It's like working out. It really is not a fun thing to start, but once you start, you get addicted to it and you keep going, and it gets easier and easier and easier, and you can 100% do it.
How can I find your love? What can I find your love?
All right, so we are getting really close to my favorite part, all the before and afters, and I don't want to be talking during them because I personally just enjoy watching those before and afters as well. So I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, like, comment, share it with a friend, and subscribe if you are new. You guys always are telling me how awesome I am for doing this Helping Hand series, and I appreciate that. But in the end, I can do this Helping Hand series because of your support for my channel, and I thank you guys so, so much for that. But I will be quiet now so you can enjoy all the befores and afters.
Think that I should calm down, and that I'm overthinking everything about you, and that we're good the way we are. work it out. You know we should work it out.